I think the mirror crack one was the best.
Mirror crack was crazy.
This man's so ugly.
Whoa.
He just made the mirror crack.
Sorry.
Top 5 Ren DMC.
Top 5 Ren DMC moments. Top 5. What's his name?
Top
I
5.
forget his name.
Oh, wait. We're not doing this again.
We're not recutting that shit.
Oh, I'm mad. Sorry. What's the kid's name again? Brother.
MJ, you've been out.
Alright.
You're out the. Okay.
All right.
MJ's behind the scenes today.
Roll it.
sorry.
Hi guys, welcome back to the Second Take podcast.
Morning clip right there, bro.
MJ
This guy wants to roll
fucking
it.
came back. Never mind.
Okay, what's that kid's name?
What are you talking
Fucking
about? That's Darius?
Darius. I forgot his name.
What
for a
the?
second.
Nah.
Whoa.
I
you
haven't seen him
forget
in a while.
Darius,
I haven't
bro.
seen him in a while.
I'm half cut that
Nah,
out.
bro.
What? Why do you have to cut it out?
What?
Why do you have to cut it out?
Okay.
We all love Darius here. We're a,
Yeah, Darius
love
we're a
Darius.
pro Darius channel.
No, but what's it called?
I do
There's
love
a-
Darius.
We were going snowboarding the other day, and the ski lift actually had a Darius stim on it. Like
It sounded like.
when they stopped it and then
Yeah.
they restarted it, it
Yeah.
went like.
Oh, it did. It actually did. It did.
Nuts.
Yeah, and who brought it up to me? I think it was Benning. No,
Yeah, I
it was
think
one of the
that's
guys.
so
One of the guys
random.
brought it up to me. I was like, no way, bro.
It could have been.
No way.
Okay. All right, guys. Welcome back to the Second Take podcast. My name's Shiv,
I'm MJ.
Sophia.
and today we're gonna be talking about us versus our 10-year-old self. What I mean by this is we're just gonna run through like how we were different at 10 years old, but not just 10 years old, like kind of growing up and how we've changed from being 10 and to now.
What grade is 10 years old?
4.
Wow. Yeah.
Grade 4?
Yeah.
Because you start kindergarten and when you're 4, and 6
Yeah.
years later you're in
After
grade
7.
4.
Yeah.
And that's 10.
Shoot.
You know what's
Grade
crazy?
4, innit?
Since I'm born in December, I was always a year like not younger, but I was always
Technically.
not the age that like everyone
Everyone
else was
else
in my grade. And I always found it weird. My teachers would call it out when I was like in grade 1 and 2. I like distinctly remember.
I feel like the kids would
I
call it out more.
distinctly
no?
remember. Sorry, the way you said that. I don't know
Sorry,
why.
I
That just
distinctly
like,
remember being in class in grade 1. And my teacher saying, "Oh, when's your birthday, Shiv?" Like in front of the entire class. I guess we're talking about birthdays or something. And I'm like, oh, or like, how old are you? And I said I was 5. When you're 6.
You remember this when you were 5?
Well, and yeah, I
Damn,
guess.
you got an early memory
But
going
like
on.
you're 6 in grade 1, right? Or are you?
You're 7.
6, 7.
6. You're
7.
you
Yo, that's crazy. Okay, yeah, sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah.
It's an edit. It's okay. Go ahead.
yeah, you're 6/7.
Yo, that's gonna be our clip edit.
Yeah.
6, 7. I don't know how. Yeah. No. Anyway, sorry.
7. Okay. Grade
I'm
1, sorry.
so lost.
Whatever the latter age was, I said I was that, and my teacher like called
The
me out.
latter.
Sorry, the earlier age, and my
That
teacher
is-
calls me out.
No, that's
The
opposite
former.
of- yeah, the former.
So that's why I said sorry.
Okay, yeah. Anyways.
Oh.
Anyways, my teacher called me out and said, "Oh my God, like you're a late baby. Like you were born late." And I'm like,
You're not
"Bruh,
supposed
like,
to be
And then
here.
all the kids started laughing, and then
probably did,
he
bro.
walked out. Nah, but I feel like the kids.
That's so funny. Sorry,
Imagine if
bro.
they kept
feel
you
like-
back a grade.
I feel like the kids like make fun of people being younger.
Yeah.
Bro. Like
Yes.
I abused that, bro.
Yeah, 'cause you're
Early
old-
baby,
you're the oldest.
I was like, yo, y'all can't chat to me.
you're
Like
that
y'all
first,
are.
though.
You're
so-
February. You're
No,
January. I knew that. I knew that.
No,
I
you
knew
didn't.
that.
No, you
Wait,
clearly didn't.
18. No, it's not.
Yeah.
18.
Avril.
18th, 20, 30,
What's
18.
May? That's May in
5?
No, in French.
May.
May.
No. Meh. Meh.
May, like my.
It's M-A-I. May.
M-A-I.
May. Jean. Juliet.
Jean.
Jean. Sorry.
Je-
I
Jean.
hate French.
Jean.
First of all, let me preface.
Anyways,
And then
I don't know why we're reciting the months of the year.
August.
We're not in
It's
kindergarten
Ow.
anymore.
Okay, sorry.
So back
So,
to
yeah.
you were in
That's so funny
kindergarten,
that
they
you said
grilled you.
Grade 10 was grade 4 because that's when
I didn't say grade 10 was grade 4. I said age 10 is grade 4.
Age 10, sorry, age 10 was grade 4 because that's when I went bald. That
Yo.
was the most depressing part of my life.
You went bald?
Okay, whoa.
You've been bald
You're
before?
fucked.
I'm sorry.
You're fucked.
You've been bald before?
So in grade 4, the summer of grade 4.
Well, I
the
don't
summer-
know this lore. I've never heard this. This
I
is
told
new.
you this.
No, you
Maybe
haven't.
not. The summer before grade 4
New
is
drop.
when
That's
I went to Sri Lanka with my parents. Like it was summer, and in Sri Lanka, I don't know what happened. I guess maybe their water was shit. But by the time I got back, I was losing hair. I was losing hair.
You're 10.
Yeah, it was bad. So then my dad took me to the doctors and stuff, and then to the barber, and then to the doctor first. Sorry, the doctor said
The barber diagnosed him actually. Yo,
The doctor said he has just an infection. It's easily like
You had
changed.
alopecia, or what is it?
I don't think I
is
had a
alopecia?
life-changing.
You maybe
alopecia.
had temporary alopecia.
Maybe.
is
But
that even a thing?
I believe
I don't think
alopecia
that's
is
a-
a permanent like.
don't
Yeah, I
Yeah.
swear alopecia is
I don't think
permanent.
I had alopecia.
Guys, I'm sorry.
I don't-
Anyways,
It's
it's
not permanent?
You can have it.
Can we
well, I
fact
mean,
check this?
Jada-
More
How about
fact
you
this?
Google- you
Jada
fact
did
check.
Get hair back.
Huh?
No,
No,
because you could do.
alopecia's
There's
not
therapy
permanent.
for
Yeah,
alopecia.
yeah,
No.
alopecia's not
But
permanent.
alopecia is like, I believe like once you have it, you don't get
Lose
fixed from
it?
it. You can get treatment.
Yeah.
There's no cure.
All I know is
But
in
she
the-
probably
fuck.
got like a hair transplant.
No. I know in the past 2 weeks,
'Cause
though,
she's
I've
rich
seen
as
this girl
fuck,
on my TikTok
so-
who had alopecia, lost all her hair, and then has grown it back naturally. So I don't really. I don't. I didn't
Okay.
really look
Yeah,
into
I
it.
don't know
Okay,
how the.
fair. Anyways,
I,
we'll fact check
I don't know
that
if I had
after.
alopecia.
Abdu will confirm.
Somebody fact check in the comments.
Yeah.
If,
or Abdu
the
right
doctor-
now will do it. Yes.
No
Yes,
cure,
but is
there's
it
treatment.
chronic? Like once you is it like a permanent
Spell chronic.
what
illness?
does that mean?
CHRONIC. Fuck you, but my chronic spellings.
No cure.
No cure,
No
which means that
cure.
it's permy.
No cure.
No, but can it go away? Like, does it ever go away? I know there's no cure, but can it like go away?
So random.
Bro, okay,
doesn't know.
Get it,
Sorry.
get it,
Okay,
no
okay,
cure.
yeah.
This
Anyways,
podcast's not about
anyways, she was
alopecia.
going
The
bald.
doctor told me
The
there-
barber said, "Fuck it, we gotta go bald."
The doctor said there was medication that I can take that will fix my what? Well,
The doctor said that.
Hey,
tough. Oh
all
my.
right, all right.
Anyways, the doctor gave me medication. What are you fucking?
No, just go.
The doctor gave me medication, and then I went to the barber after, and he said you have to. Like the doctor also said you need to cut all his hair off to make sure it regrows. So the doctor cut off my hair off for like 3 months of.
So you
grade
just told
4.
everyone you had lice, right?
No, I told everyone I was grade 4. I think I said to my friends.
I feel like it'd be easier to say I have lice than I'm balding
I don't
and I'm
wanna be
10.
Yeah, but you don't
The
want to.
lice
Yeah,
kid.
you don't want to be known as that.
I think
bro.
I
Yeah,
literally
that's so
told my
true.
friends
But
that
if you're a guy and you cut it all off, it's gone. You don't have lice no more.
Yeah, but like your skin had
regardless. Yeah,
at the
my
divine
friends
age
were-
of
my
So you
friends
were bald?
My friends were nice and understanding enough to like understand literally the truth that I told them.
wow.
But, yeah, I got medication for 4 months basically of grade 4. I was bald, but I remember my principal. Fuck you, by the way. I fucking actually hate you. Like I swear to God, fuck you. My principal at the time.
Okay.
I hate this girl. My principal at the
Damn.
time stopped me in the hallway. I'm on my way out to recess. I'm already depressed. I'm a bald kid who like wants to kill
Bald
himself.
10-year-old.
Like I want to die. My principal stops me and says, "What's wrong with your head?" Oh my God, she was also Jamaican.
Yo, that's fire. What the,
That was a good.
yo, your air gun.
Yeah, she
Air
said,
gun.
"What's wrong with your head?"
Air gun.
I said, I was so scared. I'm like, please don't suspend me. Fuck. I said, my dad just decided to cut it all off for this year. And she said, no, you're lying. And I said,
lie,
"What?"
you
I
tell.
said,
Yeah, do
no.
it.
I'm like about to cry. And she said to me, on the top of your head, you have like bald spots. Like you're patchy. And she's like, she's an adult. She obviously knows more than me about medication and stuff. And she's like, you have an infection. Like, tell your dad to come talk to me. And I was like, I was about to throw up right there. Like, you guys know, I don't want to talk.
Didn't you
like
already
that about
know?
shit.
Didn't you already know you're bald?
Yeah, I knew I was bald. I didn't know what was going on truly about like
think
my
she-
Wait,
I
I
think
did
she
not
meant
been to
to
the
say-
doctor yet.
I think
No,
she
I
meant to
already
say.
did.
Oh.
I just didn't know about my condition. I didn't know much, like what to tell. Like I don't know
Okay,
what I
I
was in trouble
see. Yeah,
for.
'cause
I
you're
think she
10.
meant to say you had like one massive.
No,
Just one
Let me
massive,
explain
and
to you
it's
what she
everywhere.
meant.
Okay.
Because apparently when you looked at my head at that age, like after this, when this incident happened, my hair was growing back, and my hair would grow back in patches. And like,
That's
there was patches on
fucked.
my head that was like bare. Anyways, this is depressing.
That's crazy.
Anyways, I went home. I was crying. I told my dad.
Imagine,
She called
like,
me out like that. My sister comes home and she says, "Yeah." She came up to me at the end of the day as well in the library and said, "Your brother's bald. Why is he bald?" And I was like, I felt like I was a disappointment. I felt like I was a disappointment to my family.
non-equal hair growing
Yeah, dude.
ass kid, bro.
And what did my dad do? Probably yelled at me. No, he
Uneven
did yell at
hair
me.
ass
He
kid,
said,
bro.
"Oh, I remember what he yelled." He said, I told her that like you just cut it off, and he's like, "Why didn't you tell her the truth? Like explain it to her." I'm like, "I don't know. I felt in trouble." So then he went and talked to her, and then they got it figured out. But anyways, by that time, I guess people had already seen me getting stopped by the
I'm so
principal
sorry
of the
for
hall.
laughing at you so hard.
You have no idea how traumatic this is too. And
No,
it's-
that's not.
I'm laughing about
it's
it.
funny.
No,
No, it's
I'm
funny.
not thinking.
I'm not laughing at your story. I'm laughing at like.
I'm 22, all right.
No,
I
I'm
can
laughing
handle
at,
it.
I'm
but
laughing at. No, no.
It is traumatic.
Shut up. I'm laughing at. We opened the podcast. We're gonna talk about our
Yeah.
10-year-old selves, and then
And
this
now
man
we're
has
just
been
talking
talking
about
for
this guy's
10 minutes
balding
about
for
him,
10
about his male pattern baldness at the ripe age of 10. Like,
Yeah,
I don't
facts.
To get into the fact of how what I was like at 10.
I know, it's just you're really giving an in-depth.
No, because this
A
is
real
Is this at 10 years old?
in-depth-
Though?
Yeah,
Like,
this is 10.
okay,
this is literally
that's
that's
10.
Understand.
Okay, wow.
Whatever
Okay,
brought
fair
up it was
enough.
11 or 9.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair
Okay.
enough. Yeah,
So-
10 years
That's why you
old.
want to do
Sorry,
an
that
episode
would
about
be a
talking
10.
about when we're 10, right?
No, I just
Wow.
fucking. Anyways, go ahead. Can you tell me about how when
I'm
you
sorry,
were
no,
10?
that actually is fucked up.
If I'm being completely honest, I will say grade 4 is like my least memorable grade back in the day. So I'm going to talk about
Around
I'm going to talk about around then. Actually,
Yeah.
grade 5 through
8.
no, it's just grade 5 through none of my own like personal actions alone was a menacing year.
You're a
That was
Grade
troublemaker.
five?
No. The class was just a troubled class.
Wait, grade
I would
5?
say.
Stop
grade
lying.
5. Yeah, we were a 5-6 split. All right.
You were a
we had
troublemaker.
no. Okay, let me explain though. We had a new teacher that had come into my school, and my school is not like well, the kids are cool, like the kids are good.
Your
but, like,
school was across the bridge. Just saying. There were
No,
troubled
but,
people
like,
there.
There was
was
no,
across the
they're not
bridge.
troubled. We just we took opportunities, and new teachers were great opportunities to do mad shenanigans. All right.
Mad
so anyways,
shenanigans.
He's making
yeah.
it seem a
So
bit.
anyways,
Hella
we were 5-6 split.
Hella
I was grade 5, and then there was kids older than me in that class, but we were all pretty close. Like we were small school, all pretty close. New teacher comes in, he's fresh from Haiti, doesn't have a citizenship yet.
Cook.
Fresh from Haiti, we're a French immersion school too, so he's obviously speaking in French to us. His name is Mr. Orlus. I love the guy. Honestly, back in the day, it was different, but now Orlus.
I feel like I'm going to
ORE,
be protective of this man during this
And
story.
then LUS. Yeah.
Oh,
Orlus. Yeah. Anyways, he was obviously his main language was French, so he didn't speak the greatest English.
Y'all did not bully him.
No, we didn't bully
Okay.
him.
They did bully.
Yeah.
him.
No.
He don't let
Okay,
him
but
fucking
it
get
wasn't
twisted.
it wasn't
They bullied him.
we didn't bully him for his accent. It wasn't like that.
Sure.
It was we took full advantage of
He's
the
a
fact
new
that
teacher and-
You're
him-
telling me.
And
you're-
also that English wasn't his first language,
Yeah, so-
and also that he was from Haiti. And
Yeah. Let me land though, because again, we didn't bully him for his accent. Actually, we didn't bully him. We just okay. So, anyways, I'll explain the story. We were troubled class, obviously, and all we wanted was free time and shit, right? And obviously, there's work to be done.
There's a way
in
to go
class.
about that, bro.
There's work to be done in class, but we just wanted free time, right? And we wanted just resources at recess. So what we did, we used to have laptops that we would do our work on
Chromebooks
and stuff.
shit?
Yeah.
No. At that time, it was actually
the old ones.
no, it
whatever.
was Apple.
Max.
Yo,
Oh,
we
yes,
had that
yeah,
too.
we
We
had
had
that.
that
You know the
too.
white ones?
The
Yeah,
big
we
fat
had
the
white
white
ones,
ones.
and they were
We had
this
that.
The white
big.
ones. Yeah, so we had a computer or a laptop case,
Yeah.
you rolled it into
Duh.
the class and everybody used it, right? So he had the keys to those, obviously.
Give me the keys.
But there would be times where he had them on a keychain and on his back, the back of his belt, right?
Tell me this is going right.
So what we would do, not me, but other people, I call it aiding and abetting. All right. What they would do is they would somebody would distract him from the front, and somebody would literally slowly take his keys.
Robbery.
Yeah.
Pickpocketing.
No,
We're talking about
it's-
pickpocketers, by the way.
But this was
So who was distracting?
Him.
No, I wasn't distracting. I was like.
So what was
y'all
your
do
aiding and
thing,
abetting?
no, because I had a reputation to keep back in the day. So I was like.
Oh, were you like a goody two shoes?
Yeah, I was like.
Yo, me
y'all
too,
do
me
that.
too, me
Y'all do
too.
that.
I'm about to insert a pic
Swing
of
me a
you
laptop.
back in the
Swing me
day.
a laptop, but
I'd get the
I don't want
benefits from
no-
the shenanigans, but I wouldn't do the
Yeah.
shenanigans.
Anyways,
I would,
yeah.
I would
so,
watch.
So they ended up taking the keys, and so that was the end of that.
robbed
But come recess, we had open up the laptops and just start playing on the laptops.
Yeah.
Oh, hell no.
Looking back at it, it's
It's fucked up.
okay, yes, it's fucked up, but also what the fuck were we gonna be doing with the laptops? Just playing games?
It's a gateway drug. That's what that was.
That's
That's a gateway crime.
Laptop, Apple,
To
Apple
robbery and
laptops are
pickpocketing in Barcelona.
Y'all ever-
How many of those guys are out in Barcelona right now
We
pickpocketing?
all turned into very distinguished young
gentlemen.
Men and women. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, and
Oh, you
gentle
have?
ladies.
No,
You
no,
have.
all of
I
them.
will always
all of
attest
them.
to that.
I promise you, like I know a good amount of them that were in that class, and they're all doing good things, right?
Yo.
It was just
You're the
the
only
fact
one
that we were
that
in
I
grade
know
five.
that's
Y'all ever
right.
run
You don't know the other people. That's
at
fair enough.
recess, like indoor recess, when you had the laptops? Did y'all ever run? Actually, not even indoor recess. When you had the fucking laptops, did you ever run Fireboy and Lava Girl? Whatever it's called?
run.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
why you acting like there's a big gate?
All-
With, like,
all-
run. Yeah,
Whatever, whatever,
everyone and
whatever.
Their mothers played Fire
Yes,
or
oh,
Lava.
and
Ball.
then-
all mini clip
and then-
games,
and
like
then
mini
the
clip games,
impossible
wide
quiz.
ones.
Did you guys get the impossible
Yes,
quiz?
everyone got the impossible quiz.
I can't say I did.
Everyone
even
gets
is
the
that?
But that's
impossible
because they're
quiz.
What even is that? What?
It's
What
an
They got the
impossible
possible-
quiz.
she was across. She was across
They
five
got
bridges.
the
What are you
maybe
talking
quiz.
about?
They got like the possible unlikely quiz. They didn't get the impossible quiz. They-
What's the
He has
impossible
no
quiz?
idea what the
is
fuck you're
that?
talking about. But everyone has the
What is that?
impossible
What is that?
quiz.
Impossible quiz
It's
is just-
literally an impossible quiz. There's no rhyme. There's nothing to it that makes any fucking sense. And,
It's
and
100
there's just like
questions in a quiz that have the answers scattered around on the
I
screen.
have them
It's like-
memorized.
Oh, that's
now.
interesting. I don't.
Like I could do it right now.
Oh, okay.
No, that's we stuck to our
Like
mini
because I
clip
did it so
and,
many
and
times
YA
that I could
games.
remember it.
Yeah, mini clip. I love that.
Like,
shit.
like
Mini clip was good.
all mini clip games are fire.
You ever
Yeah,
played
that's
the
good.
pipe skaters on mini clip? Like the
Like Skater 2, or is like
no,
it's
no,
Or
like
no,
easy
this
math
is the one like where
games.
you're going down the skate like the pipeline.
Street Sesh.
Maybe
It's like the skateboarding one.
sewer. No, it's
What?
called sewer or something.
No, bro.
Do you guys remember
Street
Happy
Sesh
Wheels?
was white,
Whatever?
right?
Yeah, yeah.
No,
that,
no, sorry.
that game I played
No, not the
religiously.
little
That
car.
was
The one
Happy Wheels, the one with the
with the
guy-
wheelchair guy,
yeah, the guy who always
and
falls.
like
Happy Wheels.
and
Happy
like
Wheels,
the moped.
yeah,
yeah,
you gotta jump down.
That is
Yeah,
Happy
yeah,
Wheels,
yeah.
right?
That's Happy Wheels.
Wait,
That's
what are
Happy
the
Wheels.
little cars called? Hot Wheels. Hot Wheels.
Bro.
I was like, wait, there's no way I just said
Come on,
the wrong
man.
one.
Okay, all right.
Fuck.
You get into how what
Okay,
you like
anyways,
10-year-old.
yeah.
Oh, sorry. Me as a 10-year-old, I don't know. I was fucking like, I
Tell
don't
me what
know.
you just told me before this episode.
Oh, I was like annoying, low key. Like I was like a
Annoying,
goody
low-key.
two shoes and like a.
You looked
I remember.
annoying, Doug.
I looked annoying. You didn't even
looked
see me in the
annoying.
fourth
I haven't
grade.
seen you like pictures of you in the fourth grade.
You see me like
You
you
look-
seen chunk
You
me.
look like I would hate
I was
you.
chunk.
Coming
I
from
was
a guy who was
chunk.
bald in grade 4, you guys can make fun of me all you want.
Fair enough.
You looked annoying.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Fucking yeah, you were bald, so
No, I took
like
it.
you even blame
Keep
you.
going. Keep going.
Yeah, my mom still was responsible for my outfits most of the time, so I was wearing like pink yoga pants and shit. So like real like
Bad choice.
imagine exactly,
Bad
and it wasn't
choice.
mine though. It wasn't mine. Do you understand?
Fair,
I
fair
love
enough.
Steve.
Fair
Yeah.
enough.
I love pictures of
I'm
when
never
people are
doing
young.
that to my child,
What
mom.
did what
I
was-
love you, but that was
Yeah.
fucked up.
I know what you were wearing. I'll
What
put
was
a
I
picture
wearing?
up right now.
No, that was oh, that
was
was
clo- that
that
was-
was great.
that was
No, that was
closer
in
to-
grade 5-6 year.
Okay,
that was Mr. Orlu's
Hey,
year.
I'll put it up if
Yo,
you'll
shout
do
out
some
Mr.
stupid
Orlu's,
shit.
bro. No, what
kidding,
the
I'm
hell?
kidding,
No.
I'm kidding.
Do you still have that?
I 100% have. I definitely have
bro.
pictures of you. I definitely have pictures of you. I'm
You
so-
don't have
Oh,
pictures
back
of
in the
me.
day.
Yeah, probably.
No, you don't.
Saying
Unless
I
you walked
wasn't-
around my house taking pictures of shit, you don't have pictures.
No,
of me.
maybe not then, but I think it's
You've
easily
seen 'em.
accessible. Yeah.
You've seen 'em.
It's easily accessible.
Whatever.
But
Anyways.
I think I was dripped out.
Okay. Yeah.
Good for you. I'm glad your parents treated you nice and like did that to you.
I'll tell you, I agree.
Yeah.
I was. But
I was not
it wasn't
dripped
even
out.
my parents' choice.
It
I
was
just wore
just like-
shit, bro. I wore gray track pants and an orange polo. Like I looked ugly as fuck. My hair was ugly. Anyways. Let's
It was
move on.
non-existent. Your
Yeah.
hair. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay. Wow.
But yeah,
That
I don't know.
deep.
I was
Okay.
I was just a good kid. Like
Yeah?
I had like good grades. Kids copied off my homework and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like I got bullied the fuck out of,
You
but
know what
like
I got?
whatever.
You know what I got? I got the. Wow, he's like an amazing kid, but
But you're also like
no, like for me it was, I would always finish stuff early, and then I would start distracting the other kids. So like on all the parent-teacher interviews, it's just like, wow, like Matthew's a great kid. Like he's an amazing kid.
Yeah.
He's very smart, whatever. But he really just needs to stop talking to the other students so they can learn.
Yo, we're
and I'm like,
similar
and
in
I'm
ways,
like,
bro.
shit.
all my parent
like,
teacher
it's
interviews
insane.
were
Like I just want
fact
to
that
socialize. It's not my fault that
Yeah.
these guys can't keep up. Like, come on.
my parent teacher interviews were all like she talks so much, but she talks about like she asks like questions about what's going on. So she's talking about the school, so it's fine.
Yeah.
But then they were like, but like that's not what I'm like. I would expand the lesson by asking too many questions, and they would be
Oh,
like,
you're one of those.
but and then
I hated those people.
Bro, no,
Yeah,
but no,
like,
but it was
just did it,
like
bro. I'm
it was
trying to
what
do my
everyone else was.
Yeah, like-
It was shit everyone else
like,
was
bro,
thinking already. I would just be like,
fair
I would
enough.
interrupt and be like, "Excuse me," and then I'd ask the
you're gonna be,
shit.
excuse me,
Like I
miss.
was like, no, I wouldn't
Actually-
even excuse myself. I would just say shit.
no.
Like in
Yeah,
high
no-
school,
wow. I
even
hated
like
that
in high school, like,
Yo, I'm not
grades
gonna
and
lie,
history in high school was the best class ever, and
You were
everyone in
doing
that class.
shit till high school?
No,
Oh.
but not excuse me, miss. Not
No.
excuse famous. But that my teacher in that class literally said to my parents, he was like, she talks a lot, but I can't even complain because she's talking about like the right shit and like everyone fucks with it. Because everyone in my class, it was me and Samaya, you know fucking Samaya, and we were just like.
Okay.
But me and her literally would just like yap the entire fucking class and like it was just the best shit ever. I don't know. It was so fun because that class was so fucking boring.
Yeah,
it was so boring.
I was definitely not that. I was I'm very similar to you.
Yeah.
Growing up, I was like crazy good grades, and then all my parent teacher interviews, holy fuck, I dreaded that shit because all my teachers would say, Shiv's such a good kid. They never called me Shiv back in the day. Shiva is such a good kid. Yeah. He, gets such good grades. But he talks so much and he needs to reduce the socializing and that word.
The socializing.
I was in grade 8
and
was my father's
it was
belt.
distracting.
What was your needs improvement on your report card?
Distracting.
Yeah.
What was your needs improvement on the report card? Were you like E? Like no, I was like all E's except for like.
I was always G.
You know what I was?
Sometimes an occasional S, and I'm like, oh.
I was
fuck.
always
like,
E.
No, because my dad knew that I was gonna get like A's on all my shit.
Wait, what was on it? What was on it?
The grades.
Because I would get.
It was your letter grades for your actual courses, and then your
I'm talking about the
something skills and adult
EG.
skills.
Yes, but what were they? Because I'm saying you get like
no,
not that. What were the things you got graded in? Like responsibility.
Yeah, fuck.
It's like punctuation. It was like one of them was responsibility, organization responsibility,
oral communication,
which was
always an E for
critical thinking. No, maybe not.
No, that's too advanced. They didn't give a fuck about that.
I feel like Google wouldn't even show it because that's such an Ontario-based thing.
Yeah, but like
but there was always something that I got like that I could never break E, and I was always like
I always got a G/S in something, and I was like, fuck,
it was
my dad's gonna get pissed because my dad, like my parents always knew that I was gonna get fine grades regardless, like A's all
I think it was like behavior, like it was just like behavior in class, like conduct. It was like conduct or some shit like that.
All that shit, like my dad's like, why is this
bro?
Like I always was like,
all my teachers would say like he just needs to stop the socializing. He's such a social.
What is it? Responsibility. Organization. Organization was always the S. Independent work.
I couldn't. That's the one. That was the one I couldn't do.
On that shit.
Yeah, because I get distracted.
Collaboration. I probably got an S on that.
I got E on collaboration. Initiative.
I always got an E on that.
G, maybe E.
No, that one. Self-regulation is the one I got.
Wow,
I couldn't break on.
Okay, so for context, N is needs improvement, S is satisfactory,
G is good,
and
E is excellent.
Yeah.
So what Abdu just read out for people who don't get what we were talking about is back in elementary school in Ontario,
your report
cards will always be separated into two different categories.
Wow.
It's your subjects and their letter grades, and then these are your personal skills, whatever.
Yeah.
What did you search up?
It was responsibility, organization, self-regulation, initiative,
and
independent work,
collaboration, and independent work. Yeah.
But what's that called? Like, what did you search up to get there?
It's just like your progress report.
Report card.
TGSB. Yeah. So that's kind of what we grew up with. But yeah. Anyways, okay. Wow.
So we all had like good grades and shit, but we just had different
the grades were there. The grades were always there.
My teachers just always knew I was a social kid, I guess.
It's just
but they used it as a weapon to my parents.
Literally, it came off so.
My dad hates to this day
absolute
how social I am. Yeah.
He's a great kid, but he needs to stop.
Did you guys ever go to parent-teacher interviews? I feel like I swear there was a time where you could go.
Yeah. And you didn't have to? No,
you didn't have to.
Even when they were optional, I had to.
I think I always went. I think I remember being there.
My parents knew. Yeah.
And I remember just sitting there while they talked about me, and I was like, "This is so strange."
No, because my parents were on the committees and stuff, like the.
They were involved. They were involved. Parent-teacher council.
So they knew like all the dates and stuff like that. They were in contact with my teachers and stuff like that. I was gonna say profs. My teachers.
My profs.
But so like they were involved, so they knew all the dates. I couldn't hide that shit from them. They knew when my report card was coming out. I could not hide that shit.
Yeah, me neither.
The moment I saw my report card and I saw an S, I'm like,
never hit a report card in my life.
And like I'll maybe delay it a day. But my dad knew it was coming out either this week or the next week, so I couldn't hold it.
No, my parents knew. They were always on. My mom. Well, my dad's like totally aloof. My mom was always on that shit.
Yeah. Oh, you know. Sorry. Before we move on, you know what happened? And this is not me. This happened to my brother. It was funny as fuck. Like one of the things, because it also says whether you were absent or late.
Oh yeah.
And I was fine with this because like honestly, I loved going to school,
Yeah.
so I was fine. But there was one time my brother got 29 lates, and I remember it in my head. I
How?
remember this day. So funny because all I hear is I'm in my room, I'm chilling, and all I hear is 29 lates coming from my dad in the living room, and I'm just listening to the conversation.
How the
He's
fuck you get
blasting my
29
brother, right?
lates?
And then every single function after that,
He would bring it up.
any number that comes up in the conversation with my family, he also brings up the number 29 and relates it to my brother being late 29 times.
That's
That's
insane.
hilarious.
I just thought
What a
I'd share that
grudge.
because that
That's
was funny
such a
as
funny
fuck.
grudge to
It was,
hold.
yeah. No.
Okay, now we'll get into. Okay, I kind of want to talk about what you wanted when you were like kind of in grade 10. Like I'll start us off in terms of how I want this answer and like where you're at now in terms of wanting that anymore. Like, okay, I think mine can go deep and funny as well. I'll start funny, bro. Like I don't know if you ever knew this, but. Like to this day I get clowned, and like a lot of the other guys know this, and I'm gonna get clowned for it. But back in grade 4 and like whatever, moving on, I wanted to be a basketball player. Like I wanted
way
to be a
you
professional basketball player. And ironic as it is, I'm horrible currently. I will say it.
Yo,
I'm not good at all.
We're gonna attach a clip
Nah,
up here.
we're
of,
not doing
of
that.
Shiv
That's-
shooting free
Insert-
throws, bro. Of Shiv shooting
Anyways,
free throws.
back
Holy.
in the day, bro, like the prime ages of grade 4, 5, and 6, whatever I
The
was,
prime bald ages.
I wanted to be NBA player, and I thought I could do it. And I,
Yeah, you could have been Villanueva, bro.
I
Yeah.
faced
with
that.
your
You're
bald
4
head.
foot
bro.
tall,
With
South
your
Side
fucking-
Click.
with your bald head.
Bev.
Yeah, you,
But I was always short, and I was always yada yada. And in middle school, I was on basketball teams, but that's when I faced the reality that I just wasn't good.
that you suck.
But it's okay. I did want to
Damn.
be a real professional basketball player, and I still think, by the way, this has been like always on my mind. I probably told you this, maybe you too, but. I want to satisfy that craving, that dream, by like when we get famous. I want us to go to the celebrity game. Like I want us to play it.
Bro,
Oh,
NBA
that'd be
celeb.
so
Just like on
funny.
that vibe of like
Aw.
I played. Yeah, so that's how I kind of satisfy that now. A bit deeper though is always as a kid I've always, I mean, I think this shows it, but I've always had a lot of like really big dreams. And I think I saw a quote the other day, and it's like, this is if you believe in God or if you don't, but the people who dream the biggest are meant to dream that for a reason. Like there are people who want to
What
do
do I
the
have to do
9 to
with God?
5s.
But like true.
No, because I replaced the word. I didn't say like
Oh.
the actual quote is God puts
yeah.
big
Oh,
dreams
true.
in the
Okay,
right
okay,
people's
cool.
minds, whatever.
right,
But I think if you dream big in your life, there's a reason you do that. Like you are meant to fulfill that sort of purpose for you. And if you, especially if you're so contingent and not letting go of that dream, I think we all know that we're all that way in
Yeah.
a way, shape, or form. I'm definitely that way. When I have my dreams and when I express them, I never want to let them go, and I really want to achieve them. And that's how I've always been, especially as a kid. I told this to you just the other day, but as a kid, maybe around like this isn't grade 10, but like a bit. Sorry, not grade 10. This isn't at 10, but a bit older. I wanted to be a pilot. Like I still.
Oh, yeah.
I, like it was such a
You know,
Pilot.
yeah.
Great. No. I wanted to be a pilot. You don't know that?
Oh my God.
No,
like,
wait, am I
where's your
under a
pop
rock?
culture? Like,
Yeah, what?
Wait, is this recent that I'm missing?
No,
When I grow
sacrificed my life
up,
for
I want to be
Pakistan.
pilot.
Yeah,
Great. I sacrificed my whole life for Pakistan.
That's crazy how you don't know that. That's
You
like,
don't know that?
I'm finding it right now.
You definitely know what I'm talking about.
just
Anyways,
look
I'll
up,
keep
I'll
you after.
sacrifice my life for Pakistan.
Yeah.
Oh, that I know.
That's the
Wait,
same, that's the
is
same
it?
thing.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Anyways,
yeah.
that dream I've kind of still not let go of. I kind of resurrected it last summer. A friend of mine.
being a pilot?
Yeah, not resurrected, but in the sense, I'll tell you what I mean is.
Sacrifice my whole life for Pakistan. Pakistan,
know
Zindabad.
Pakistan to the world!
Make schools and help the poor people to study. Yes, that's great.
Great.
My pledge is to help the people,
Okay.
all of the poor people of Pakistan.
Where's the grape?
Great.
I will
What?
make schools and help the poor people to study.
You keep watching the same clip.
No.
My pledge is to
What?
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Whatever I get.
Okay, sorry. Okay. Yeah. So last summer, a friend of mine and I were talking to a current pilot that we met at a Darty, and he was telling
so
us like,
random, but like true.
That is
he's
random as
yeah,
fuck.
he's
I
a
remember
pilot,
this,
but
I
he was
remember
there. And he was telling us like, yeah, schooling's expensive, and like, but he's like, honestly, it was 2 years of schooling, and it was like the best decision he's made because now he's getting hired to fly eventually in Air Canada, and he's literally our age, and
That's great.
and he's like, it's such a lot of work, but it's such a fun career if that's like what you want to do. And
Yeah, of
I was
course.
telling my siblings the other day too, but I eventually, when I get out of my current degree and this keeps going, and whatever stable position I get to in my life, I want to resurrect the idea of maybe going to pilot school, like going to like flying and like learning how to fly and being like getting my license for that, because I think that's such a cool concept that I really want to do. I want to be able to fly, and like I've always said, like I want to like skydive and all that, like individual jumping and stuff, but this is like another aspect of that.
That's so
But yeah, so that's kind of what I want to ask you guys. Like, what dreams did you guys have as kids, and like where are you at now, and like maybe how they differ, like what you think about those dreams?
Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
When I was in when I was 10, I guess, I feel like I was really, really artsy. Like I wanted to do art. Like I was like, I loved painting. I loved drawing and shit. I wanted to just kind of be famous. Cause like I got bullied the fuck out of, and I was like, yeah, yo, I'm gonna leave here and I'm gonna be famous. You know, I'm gonna like regret the way you treated me. And I was like, I was thinking like this when I was like 10, whatever. And I was like, I just want to be famous. And I was like, I don't know if it's like as an artist or something, but I just kind of wanted to.
Yeah.
I just remember. Sorry, no, I just remembered something. When I was like, I don't know how old I was. Maybe it was the 4th grade or before that. But I used to want to be a singer, which I can't sing for shit though. I literally can't sing. I'm so terrible at singing. But when
y'all dreams are like very unrealistic.
I just remembered that, and I was like, damn. No, I actually wanted to be a singer. I'm pretty sure I used to write like songs in like a little book somewhere, and I don't know where it is. But I remember I told my mom one time, and I was like, Mom, I write songs, and I'm gonna be a singer. And she was
Do you
like,
think you were a good lyricist?
I don't know. I was
Obviously
like
not at the
8,
age
bro.
of skating, yeah.
I
But do you
probably
think
not.
now,
I don't know,
like,
that shit
you're-
was-
I
do you think,
remember.
like-
I remember like. I can't even remember, but I'm pretty sure it was pretty shit. It was like,
Okay, yeah, valid.
maybe for like an 8-year-old.
Yeah.
Not that bad.
Yeah. Do you think
But
now
like I
you
don't think
might,
I was
like,
spelling anything right. You know what I'm saying? Like I was
right.
singing words I couldn't spell, so I was like, how could- I remember
fair
reading
enough.
it back like a few years later and being like, I don't know what this is supposed to say, but that's like that's not how you spell that.
Shit, that was bars though.
Yeah,
Back
I
in
was
the
like,
day,
yeah,
that
but
was-
yo,
That's
I was
funny as
hitting that
fuck.
shit. I was hitting
That is
it.
funny as fuck.
Nah, fair
I don't
enough.
know.
I feel like for me, in terms of like jobs, what I wanted to do when I was older, I would say my whole life I was probably the most prominent thing in my mind is being a lawyer that I wanted to be from a young age. Like I was very actually no, I would say there's 3. Lawyer was one of them. I was just like, I don't know why. I didn't know what lawyer I wanted to be. I didn't know, like, I didn't even know what the categories of law.
Yeah,
there
you
were.
just knew.
Yeah.
I
When
just
you're a kid, you
wanted
don't
to be
know.
a
Yeah,
A lawyer.
yeah, I completely
that
get
was
that.
one of them. 2, I was very big into HGTV as a child. So I wanted to be a real estate
Stop.
agent. I watched
shit.
House Hunters all the time. So like
I always love it or listen.
and House Hunters International. And so like it was like honestly that was very appealing to me. And that also brought out like architecture as well,
Ooh,
which is
true.
what I wanted to be. But then I would say one of the longest periods of time that I wanted to one of the jobs that I wanted to explore was journalism. And
Ooh.
again, I don't know why, but like I just saw like a bunch of people doing like reports on thing, and I used to read the newspaper a lot as a kid, just because like, I
Damn.
used to get Toronto Star all the time.
Yeah.
that's
So
true,
like,
that's true.
usually the sports page, but like I wanted to be like a sports journalist. That
Yeah.
was
That's
one
cool.
of the main things that I wanted
I
to
think
be.
that's
But
what- that's
honestly,
something you told me,
pretty
yeah.
realistic.
Yeah.
Aspirations.
I had a
you know?
realistic one I forgot about, but I wanted to be a vet. Like when I
right,
because I
right,
love
right.
animals, I wanted to be a vet. So
I
I
like
was
that we
like,
all had one, like maybe.
Yeah, I had, like-
guess
I
you
had,
don't
like,
have
my-
an unrealistic one, but we have like.
Like I probably
there
did.
one?
I probably did.
Yeah.
But like I didn't really like. I was probably very realistic at the
About
time.
it,
Like
yes,
thinking like,
yeah.
yeah, it's probably not gonna happen.
Okay, let's keep it going because we have been
Yeah,
this
we've
is
been
this is
yapping.
great. We're yapping, and I'm happy that we're yapping, but we yapped a little bit too much about the wrong things. It's fine. Okay, I wanna know. Again, I'll start this off, but how have you changed, like from like a 10-year-old to like now and like growing
besides
up?
the fact that it's been like 12 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Besides that, like I mean it more in terms of I think it's crazy, but like obviously like you brought it up, but I was bullied so much as a kid.
Yeah, bro.
But at the same time, I knew how to come out of
Yeah,
the
he's like,
bullying.
can't relate, bro. He
This
was
guy's-
cool as
this
fuck.
guy's-
Whatever.
No, I think I've told Shiv and I've told like a lot of my friends like I
Espresso,
low key no
espresso.
disrespect, but I low key probably would have bullied all of you like as
Yeah,
a kid.
fuck you.
Okay.
Like, but like through my intention was not to bully you. It was
Yeah.
just like
It was
I
just to
a-
be an asshole for fun, or like what?
No, but like I was just like very. I don't know.
You were quick to make a joke.
I was quick. I was quick to make a no.
Yeah.
I was quick to make a
You
joke.
just- you're
but
quick
I
to
definitely,
tear others down is what it is, right?
I wasn't
Yeah,
even
yeah.
Like that. I wasn't even like that. I was just like, I definitely would have accidentally.
You'd make a joke at someone's expense.
Made a joke. But
Yeah,
like,
you tear
I
people
thought
down.
It was funny. But like,
But you're just an asshole.
Except the
probably.
kid was getting bullied.
And then
Yeah, okay.
it is funny, and then
But like,
I tell you the
like,
kid getting.
Yeah, I'm sorry if that were to
Well, good
ever
thing we
happen,
met
but
at
yeah,
grade
yeah,
nine,
good
I'm
bro.
thing-
really
yeah,
glad
good
we
thing-
didn't meet at
good
that
thing we
time.
met
Yeah.
when I matured and everything.
Yeah,
so.
cool.
Yeah, so
But yeah.
I grew up a lot with a really good group of friends, and like I loved my friends, and I still keep in contact with a few of them, especially from elementary. But I grew up bullied, but I think I was a very smart kid in terms of I gained confidence really early, and I gained
Like
you
thick
know,
skin.
Yeah, thick skin. Oh, that's what it was. Because I think I had this quote that I used to say to myself, literally in grade like middle school and going into high school. I dropped it now, but it's always in my head. But it's like I just always would say to like myself is nothing gets to me. Like nothing gets to me. And I remember thinking I was such a smart person for thinking that because obviously like I don't know like I going to school was
Like
so fun for
Titanium
me.
by Sia right now. That's the song. That's your
Oh,
song.
Titanium by Sia. Okay.
Is that Sia?
No,
Yeah.
it's
Who sings it?
It
I
is
don't know.
Sia.
I don't know.
Sia and David Guetta.
Shoot me down.
I swear you sang this in you sang this on the podcast.
I
before.
didn't know Sia, I guess.
Yeah, you said
Wait,
you
no,
called
I
it
have
bullet.
not.
Yes, you
No,
did.
I-
You guys called. Yeah,
I
you
did.
sang it.
There was the whole clip. That's
yeah,
the clip.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Anyways,
yeah,
y'all
yeah,
called
yeah.
it bulletproof, which
Bullet-
I was like,
yeah.
it's not called bulletproof.
Anyways,
Whatever, yeah, so nothing gets to you,
So
'cause
yeah,
you-
and then I remember thinking like because of like how much I really enjoyed going to school and not being at home, I was like no matter like how I got treated by certain people, I was always gonna be fine, and I got thick skin and whatever, right? As I grew through high school and whatever, and I found you guys and everything, I think my confidence grew, but also my charisma and my social like cues and skills. I didn't have that as an elementary kid. Like at 10 years old, I think I was so awkward, didn't know how
I
to
feel
speak
like a
to
lot.
people.
Yeah, I'm the same. I was the same.
But some kids were just charismatic at that age, and I knew that because I experienced it around me.
No, but I don't think a lot of kids actually have a lot of social cues at that age. I just think it's like they're either liked or they're not. And if you're liked, then like everything you do is perceived in a good light.
okay.
And if you're not, then everything you do is kind of like it makes you a little bit more like fuck. Like
Yeah.
no one liked anything that I did today.
Yeah,
and you
yeah,
go home
yeah.
and you're like, damn, I did everything wrong.
I definitely, I've changed in
what I'm
that
saying?
sense. Like I became more social. I like constantly came out of my shell year after year.
That's good.
How do you think you were? Like,
Well, honestly, I would say like back in the day, I was a lot more extroverted than I am now. But
I agree.
in
Yes,
the,
yes.
like in the sense that like everything and also everything about me was in regards to my reputation. So I would say like from a young age, I was taught to like get involved like with my school and stuff like that. So I was a part of a lot of sports teams, a lot of clubs and stuff like that in both elementary school and like moving up, progressing into high school and stuff like that. But I would say everything that I did, I was a kid, right? Everybody, you know, just wants to do things that 10-year-olds want to do,
Yeah.
right? So I would say there was a lot of things that I did that I looked at it and I was like, wow, that could really affect my reputation as a kid. But I think what I was doing as a child was looking at it through what I thought was the teacher's lens, how they would see me.
yeah.
And because I think the teacher's perception of me was very big when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, wow, I just did this and this is going to affect how they look at me. But the way I see it now, looking back at it, I see that like a lot of the teachers that I had, and like God bless them, they have always supported me throughout whatever I've done. So like I'm appreciative of that. And there's a lot of times where like I did some stupid things and they kind of put it off just because they knew the fact that I was
They know your character and it wasn't that.
exactly. They knew that like
That's really nice.
kids make mistakes.
Yeah,
And because I was a good kid, that it shouldn't affect my
I forget that all the time.
reputation,
Like,
you know?
Yeah.
teachers were adults when we were kids. and,
Exactly. Like
they have the view on life that I don't think
yeah,
now.
exactly. I don't think
And-
we realized how like understanding they were.
Yeah.
We thought
Dude,
they
I
were.
thought it was the end of the world when I got in
Exactly.
trouble.
Well, yeah, because
Exactly.
when you're a kid, like
100%.
everything a teacher does is like is out to you think it's like to
Well,
kill the fun, and it's not.
And the
you
whole
know,
thing is like a
but it's
lot
really
of the
for the
stuff that
grand
they,
scheme.
a lot of the stuff that they do is like they tell your parents about stuff that you've done.
Yeah,
right?
and you're like, damn, you're
a lot of it you think is negative, but
Yeah.
they're also gassing
It's
you
for
up
the-
in a
it's
lot
for
of
the-
ways, right? And it's just
the better usually.
They just want to set you on the right track,
Yeah.
which is like what. Looking back at it now, you can understand, but like as that kid, you're like, wow, I hate this teacher. You know, they were like always out to get me and stuff like that, or they're always out to get me. When in reality, they probably were setting you on the right track from there. You just didn't know it, you know. So
Yeah.
you like, and what?
I don't know. I feel like getting bullied for most of my childhood like really put me on like a weird path that like when it kind of stopped, I really, really wanted to fit in. And so I kind of like, I had that thing with like the teachers where I was like, I would do shit that I felt like would make me fit in. And then I was like, wait, low-key, like I don't like that. And I feel like the teachers are cheesed at me. Like, but that's not me and they know that. So
Yeah,
it was kind of
exactly.
the same kind of thing. But then even when I got into high school and like, I made a whole bunch of new friends who like really liked me for me. But there was also like a lot of things I did that were not me. I think I kind of lost myself at some point in trying to fit in so much that I was just like, I like described it at the time as like I was becoming so much of everyone around me that I didn't really have my own like sense of self. I didn't have a strong sense of self in high school, or like very like I had certain things about myself that like remained consistent, but a lot of like what I thought was me was just people around me. And then like coming into university, like especially now, I think I'm on the other end of it. Like I'm like exiting that for sure. Like there's definitely things in the past like 4 or 5 years that I've like done and like learned about myself that I'm like, this is like me and this is what I value. And I've like left a lot of the people from then behind and a lot of like the stuff from then behind. And so yeah, that like since then I think I've just kind of grown to have a stronger sense of self and figure out who I
like
am
you
and
think you
kind
might
of-
have got lost along the way, but
yeah, I think I care. I think I cared so much about what people thought about me. Like I just wanted so badly to like walk into a room and feel like these people wanted me to be there and like they cared about my presence there, that like that I held on to that feeling as much as I could when I could get it. But now I feel like I don't care so much about it, and I prioritize the people who, you know, they make me feel like that anyway. Like, you know what I mean? But I don't care so much about what people who I don't care about think about me. Does that make sense?
Okay, I'll finish. We're gonna head to closing this out. So quick answers here, but how do you think your 10-year-old self would react if they met your current self? You start, you go, then me.
I think, like, honestly, I think my 10-year-old self would be like, oh, really? You chose the path of engineering? Like, in terms of, like, our dreams and aspirations, I don't think engineering was anywhere on my radar back in the day.
Wow.
So, like, and even throughout high school, too, I would say, like, I don't think it was ever on the radar like that. So they'll be like, oh, wow, like, okay, like, pleasantly surprised in that sense. In terms of anything else, I would say, like, they'd probably ask, knowing my past self, he was very, very, very like curious and wanted to know about things. So maybe he would ask for advice, like what? How do I make it past this journey, or on this journey that I'm on? You know, what do I do to set myself on the right track? Right.
Yeah.
I think that's what my past self would do. So.
I think my 10-year-old self, I don't think that she'd be shocked about like me being in biomed. I think my high school self would be shocked that I don't want to go to med school. She'd be like, fuck, because I was so, anyone who knew me in high school, I was dead set. I was like, I'm gonna be a surgeon and like I'm gonna go to med school.
Yeah.
She'd be shocked. But I think that like she would think I was cool. Like I think she'd be like, you're kind of cool, like, because I figured some shit out and whatever. Like, and I think when I put myself back in my 10-year-old shoes, if I were to meet me now, I feel like I'd be like, damn, like she's someone I want to be friends with when I'm older. Like I want to be like her.
Yeah.
Like, she's cool. So like that makes me a little full circle, a little happy.
That is good.
Yeah, I think like honestly I like that. I feel like I've like thought about this a lot, but I think when I was 10, I always looked at, I never had an older brother. I had an older sister who I loved dearly. I love dearly. She's not dead.
Still here.
I think I looked at like people with older brothers like in somewhat of an envy. Like I have I have a younger brother, so I always like held that position very highly, that I'm an older brother. But I always thought like I really like like missed or not missed, but I craved the feeling of having an older brother because I always looked at like older guys, especially 2 years older, 3 years older, as like as people who I look up to, and I'm like, wow, like you're cool, and especially if they treated kids younger than them and their
Yeah.
age like with like respect and like
Take you under my wing.
type shit. I love that. So I think my 10-year-old self would look at me now and think what I thought about those men back in the day, those guys, I think I've become now. And I think my younger self would look at me and say like, we haven't changed much. You're just kind of like a very like exponentially grown version of me in terms of like you now have the bravery that like all those dreams that I had at 10 that like I was kind of like I would get bullied for talking about, but I still talked about it. And every day that I come to school, I came to it like with more fun and laughter. Like I feel like that's where a lot of my social skills come from. You're like a braver version now where you really just don't care about that being your full personality. Like I feel like my 10-year-old self would really like the connections I've made. I think he'd like how mature I am, and like he'd look at me, be like, "You're like the older brother that I wish I had. Like you are literally." And I know this because I think about it a lot, but I think I've become exactly what my 10-year-old self thought was cool.
Okay.
Like was like the respectable older figure.
I think
like,
it's crazy to think that they like that kid lives within us. You know?
Yeah. It's
That's a crazy
weird. It's
thought.
so insane to me.
Yeah, that's crazy.
In terms of like careers and stuff like that, I think he'd be like, I'm just happy that you're brave enough to like take on all this stuff.
I think you should be part of the podcast. I think they'd be all.
I think what? Yeah, 1,000%.
First of all, our high school self would be proud of the podcast.
yeah,
We'd be
yeah.
like,
My high
shit,
school
you
self
finally
too,
started that
that'd be
shit.
great.
Yeah. Me and MJ's high school self would be like,
Yeah.
yo, like,
Wow, like,
finally on the
finally.
road.
My high school self wanted to do a podcast too.
Yeah, no, I know.
There you go.
Shit,
Yes.
No, yeah.
But y'all actually like had a
No, ours was just weird. We'll talk about
Okay,
that.
we gotta wrap it up.
But yeah, that's everything. Everyone take a moment to think about your 10-year-old self and comment down below what you think they think about you now. But that was the episode. My name's Shiv.
I'm MJ.
Are you sure that was a question? I'm
I
Sophia.
was a little
And that's the end of the episode. Peace out.
Bye,
All right,
guys.
later.
Oh, that was so wholesome.
That was wholesome.
Wow.
That was wholesome.